welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Ness. I like to talk about books. It is my Christmas day. Oh my god, I'm so excited. It's here. Oh god. I am so excited. I could cry. I have been waiting for this day, not knowing if this day was ever going to come, for so long. This is the November Fairyloot adult box. This was the book I took a subscription out for on the off chance that they might do an edition of this book, and they did it. I've been alluding to this edition for so long. I spent some time over the summer thinking that this was just like never gonna happen, and I was like really disappointed and bummed out in videos like, oh, there was this one book I really wanted them to do and it looks like we're not gonna get it. Anyway, Fairyloot gods, they did an edition of this. I know what this book is. I have read this book and it's one of my favourite books that I have read, and I'm going to talk a little bit more about the book later on. I am so nervous though that I might not like this edition, that it might be underwhelming. This is my Babel. This is the one book that I would want a very special edition of, and given the track record of the Fairyloot adult subscription, it makes me so nervous, because if this is bad, I think I will literally like have to end my subscription. I just want a really nice edition. Now I know that we're going to get a colour change of this book, and I genuinely don't know what that colour change might be. I'm thinking it might be blue, it might be pink, or it might be purple. Don't see how you could change the colour from what, you know, it's been designed to be. So the theme is bad blood. When I saw this, honestly, I was screaming. I'm so nervous. I feel sick. Oh god. Oh god. Right, I'm seeing things and it looks great so far. Oh, what? Okay, right. I had been so bummed out. I should have said this, because now it seems like I'm backtracking on my guesses. I was so bummed out to hear that it had a colour change, because I was like, how can you change it from red? Like, this book is just, everything about it just screams red. Like, to the point that when my grandma passed away and I got access to a jewellery box, this is the ring that I took. I think it's a costume ring, but still, this ring just made me think of this book. So I was bummed about the idea of a colour change. And it is a colour change, kind of. They've just changed like the dark black edges into having this really nice design around here, which is also on the back. Genuinely, I think that they should have just done this for the editions that you could buy in the shop, because I think it suits it more. It has these stenciled edges which hopefully flatten out. It's very like old wallpaper. I was hoping that this would actually tie in more with the self-published edition, which I do have. As you can see on the self-published edition, there is so much artwork that's gone into this. You know, maybe some of like this design or this I was kind of hoping would be on there, just to like tie these in together, but I completely understand if like this is like copywritten, that can't be used in this publication. Okay, let's open it up and see what we have. I am so nervous to see what's underneath this. Like, I do like this, but you know, give me a little bit more, just give me more for this book. We have end papers. Oh, we have design on the hardback as well, people. Oh my god. Right, so the hardback design isn't anything spectacular. It's just like a very dark castle, and then on the back just a hedge with the night sky. It does have like stars in as well, which is just really hard to see. On the end papers we have who I assume is our main love interest. Although this is like definitely not what I picture him as, this is really nice artwork. For the end papers on the back, I absolutely adore this. We have our main character and the other parts of their household. The artwork on these is done so good. Like, this is how I imagined most of these characters to be. And this artwork is tied in so nice with the elements of the stained glass. I'm getting emotional because I'm just so relieved. Let's see what else we've got in here. This edition is not signed, which is a bit of a bummer because I would have loved to have got this signed. But, you know, like I've said before, I'm okay with an author not like wanting to break the hand to get books signed. And maybe if the author like comes to the UK, I could take this edition to a shop and get it signed. Like that would be what I would want, but I also do cherish the self-published edition just as much as this one. So like, you know, for me it's just about editions at the moment. I could cry. So I do like this edition. A complete redesign, would that have been nice? Yes. With what we were promised, they've done the best with what elements they said that they could do with this book. I was first given this book by my gorgeous friend Caitlin, whose social media links I will link down below. And when this turned up, I was like, oh, okay, it seems like just like a quick read. You know, I might just like dip my toes in at one point. And I started reading this at 10 o'clock at night one day. And I did not put this down until like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning, even though I had to have multiple breaks because I was just so overwhelmed by what was going on. This isn't necessarily a fun book to read. This book is written as if it was a letter to the partner of the main character, who is based on the first Bride of Dracula. This is like a Dracula bride story retelling. The most captivating thing about this for me is the themes that it goes into, and it does have trigger warnings in the front of the book, which I think is a really good idea. It contains deception of emotional, verbal, physical, intimate partner abuse, gaslighting, violence, mental illness, etc. So I would definitely look at the trigger warnings for this before you read it to see if there's something that you might personally, you know, see and be triggered within this book. It's the roller coaster of emotions for me that this book takes you on, which makes it so captivating, but also like the way that it's written, it's so poetic, and the time scale that it covers, and you know, the depictions of what it's like to be also living in those time scales and changing from, like, you know, this woman lives for hundreds of years. And I couldn't get over how such a short novel, this one is just over 200 pages, how such a short novel could fit in so much and do so much in the pages that it's got. And for me it was a great example of, you know, getting the story down in the best way and not just dragging it out for the sake of dragging it out. This one comes in at just under 300 pages. Now I don't know whether they've included a story at the back, I can't tell because I don't want to read it, or whether they've extended on the actual story for it to be mass printed and published by an actual, you know, the big publisher. Sometimes self-published books will go through editing by a new publisher before being published. Constanza definitely goes on such a ride with Dracula, and I love the introduction of the other two characters as they come along in the book as well. It's just so short, small, but so effective, this book. This was absolutely worth every penny I've put into my Fairyloot adult subscription, and I know I've been so disappointed in the past, but I love this edition. This was 100% worth it for me. I'm so pleased that I got it. I would have been devastated if I'd missed this. Honestly, devastated. Now that I have this book, I don't know whether I'm going to keep my adult subscription. Even though I make YouTube videos about it, it still doesn't cover the cost, and for me I just don't know whether I want to keep paying that monthly cost. I know a lot of people are also considering, you know, what do they do around their subscriptions at this time, you know, cost of living crisis and all of that. I just can't stop looking at it. I can't stop looking at it. I would genuinely snap up any special edition of this book though, and this is not one that I'm disappointed in. If I saw this in the shops, I would be screaming. Thank you so much, Fairyloot, for not letting this video be a disappointment. I was fully prepared to be disappointed. I was leaning more on the side of I'm gonna be disappointed than not disappointed, but I feel like they've just taken what's available in the shops and elevated it. Let me know what you thought of this. Let me know if you've read this. You could read it definitely within a few hours. I would recommend just sitting and reading this in one go, honestly, and preparing yourself for an emotional journey. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.